Sorry. Just wanted you a little closer to me. Come on over. Yeah, man. I can sure try. Leah! Yeah, I'm trying to jump out of my funk. Spread some positivity. Sounds like I got my first sale of the day. Dweep Patel wants a special pot. Back in my college days, I was pretty well known for my creative solutions to all kinds of problems. Mason the Racer, hello to you. Mason, what sort of things do you race? Bicycles? Motorcycles? Dweep Patel, I am making some cups. Actually, I already made the cups. Made a whole bunch of them. And now I just got to turn this foot rim on the bottom. Dirt bike. Hell yeah. All of my pots have this little bottom. Little dishwasher cutout. Mason, are you racing right now? Dirt bikes? I mean, not at this moment, I know that. Well, maybe you are. Extremely talented race biker. But is it the season to race? Vanished! Good to see you. Confused dog said hi. Ahoy hoy. Mason, what kind of results do you get? Are you you getting on that podium? Are you working your way up? Maybe you're out there just collecting souls. Love that, getting on the podium. My man. If you're not first, you're last. Ricky Bobby. Leah, how's your mom? Vanished. Love the designs that you sent. I got to do some thinking about it. Vanished sent me 2 designs. One is sort of a space theme, and the other is like a yin and yang theme. So it got a black side and a white side. So I got the pots that we made Vanished yesterday, and I was trying to think about, kind of based on the materials that I have, what I could use to make those designs. And I'll be honest, I'm coming up a little bit short on ideas. But we have time. I love the designs. Mason, what was the last race that you did? Maybe when it was or where it was, but then also like what kind of a course are we talking about? Are we doing like some cross country? Are we doing like motocross? Hitting the whoops? Flying over those doubles? I'm just saying stuff that I've seen on TV. Turn this a little bit. Hey! What is that? Camera's having a mental problem. Try this. Sorry about that. Whoa, trippy, bro. Okay, got it. Thanks, Leah. Hey, Leah, how's mom? Any updates? More designs. Vanished. Yeah, keep them coming. You got a really creative, all these creative ideas are great. To be honest, I kind of am more of like a craftsman, Vanished, where you're more of an artist, where you come up with these original ideas. One's not better than the other necessarily. I'm not talking bad about myself, but I really admire folks like you, Vanished, who can come up with their own ideas, and they have like a variety of ideas, which is super cool. Doggone it. Stay on center, mug. There we go. Oh, it's Grandma. And she's the same. Just pray for my daddy, please. If you do that, LOL. Yeah, your dad. He's taking it pretty hard. Of course he is. His mom's sick. It's hot here. It's like 95. I saw Nick and Jess over at Swan City. They had to do an early show today. It must be really hot where they are. Yeah, I can relate. Reminds me of that poem from Interstellar we were just talking about yesterday. The one like, do not go softly into the night. I think the older I get, the more like the time weighs heavy on me. And for example, and I don't mean to go too macabre here, but midlife is, if the average lifespan of people is like 76, midlife is 38. And I'm 47, coming right up. Yeah, it weighs heavy on me because my grandfather, he died when he was like 62. Of course, he was a long-time smoker. I mean, I don't mean to talk shit about smokers. It's just, I think that's what got him. Oh, dog. That's a good comment. I agree with you. It's death. It's almost as like it's such a conversation that can really take us in so many different directions. Challenging directions too. Religious beliefs and thoughts. Gosh. All I know is I want to put it off as long as possible. It's the one thing I want to be a procrastinator about. Leah said, I suppose after a while you learn to kind of numb yourself to it. Then again, last I counted, I was up to 22 people. God, Leah, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's something that you don't want to get good at. But just because I know you a bit, watching your streams and talking to you here, I know that it's like your story has made you a powerful woman, courageous. It's so hard to know too, like, and Leah, maybe you can weigh in on this, but it's like, when you're there and you want to like support someone, I never want to say things that are cliche. So I find myself like, I want to be present, I want to support this person, but I just don't know what to say. Maybe there's nothing you can say that's going to help. Oh, vanished. Said, I'm making a waterfall design. Do you want any specific requests? Let's see. I think for me, vanished, the design sort of has to kind of like fit into what we're making or already made. So like those squishy pots that we made yesterday, how could that waterfall design connect one squished pot to the other? I know you with your, you have a really creative mind, so you'd be able to think about like, oh, okay, well, if I start the waterfall over here, then I could like paint it on on the other pot in a certain way, and they would like connect them somehow. That's a cool idea. Well, Leah, I think it's true, honestly. I know on our feeds we always put like our best face forward, but when you speak, you're very candid. You don't hold anything back, or so it seems. And I really respect that about you. Ooh, that's a great idea. Vanished. Could make it like a stream going through the rocks. Can't wait to see this design. I was reading a story last night about this guy. It's a story about it's scientific answers to ridiculous questions. And so the question was, could you use a machine gun as a jetpack? It was so ridiculous. But this guy calculated the velocity of the trajectory, the velocity of the bullets and the kick of the gun, and apparently you can. Don't recommend it. Not safe. But I just thought as a conceptual idea, it was hilarious that somebody would go through a scientific process to figure that out. Well, Leah, I think it's really important that people are candid. We live in such a, censored world. Everybody's kind of like afraid. I know I certainly am. I'm afraid to, get canceled, say the wrong thing. So I always try to be on my best behavior. I mean, I'm a nice person anyway. There's no like dark demons here, but. I do listen to my fair share of Falling in Reverse. If that paints the right picture. For a dry one. Oops. I gotta grab a sharpener. Let's see if I can sharpen this. This is gonna make a weird noise, I apologize. I usually try to do this beforehand, but I forgot. Thank you, Harbor Freight Files. Not a sponsor. Vanish, what are you doing those designs on your tablet? On the phone. Wow. So you have a stylus or something, or using your finger? Talented guy. That makes it even more impressive. Ben Wolf! What's up, dude? I was just watching your video on the Vevor kiln. Really enjoyed it. I wish I had a mini test kiln. And that popped up and I thought, oh, this could be a good option. But I'm really glad for your review, because with that, being that it's not programmable is kind of a non-starter for me. Not that I really need, but I would want it to like mimic my big kiln as much as possible. But great video, brother. Yeah, really liked the glaze that was on there. That phase separation, that blue on the bottom of that pot was cool to look at. I wonder if that kiln fire's a little bit hot in the top, and that's what got those blisters. Fresh cup of Joel. What is this? This is so fun. You guys just finished something? Collaborative stream? Or just coincidence? I've been kind of out of the loop, Joel. I missed your, I don't even know if you did one, your glaze reveal. How did the pots turn out? Or should I just not be a jerk and go and look for myself? But did the kiln fire okay, and kiln gods smile upon you? I hope they did. Passerby! Whenever I see passerby, I always think that it's like a famous person. I don't know why, but I always think, passerby is, I don't know, it's like if Simon Leach had a secret account. Kiln is a beast. Nice. I'm very pleased. Joel said, very pleased, only 2 small defects where the glaze split. And Joel, did you make a video about that? I'll go check it out. I've been a little distracted because I went to a farmer's market on Saturday, and I had been applying to get in the markets around here, but I never heard back. So kind of finally worked up enough courage to go and introduce myself to the folks who run the show, and that was all it took. I have a sale or a show or I don't know what you even call it, a market. I'm going to a market as a seller tomorrow in the morning, so I've been trying to get ready for that. Scrounging up pots. Sold a whole bunch of pots in Santa Cruz a couple weekends ago, so a little bit light. Adirondack earthenware. One of my favorite barrel firers, Adirondack. Big fan. I had a book when I was a teacher called Alternative Firing Techniques. And that was initially how I got into raku. But then the big challenge that we gave ourselves was to build a kiln out of clay and then fire other pots in our kiln that we made ourselves. Turns out it's quite tricky to get the chimney to draw enough fuel or whatever through, so we had a hard time getting up to temperature. Still fun though. Hey guys, so I've made, this is Adirondack, big progress on my electric wheel. I found 3 washers and 1 was broken. I think that's what the wobble was from. Putting your finger on a problem is such a satisfying moment. You know, where you're like, oh man, you're like fighting, trying to find it. You got an electrical short, something, you know, that's bugging you. You got a wobble in your wheel. And then that moment where you see it and you're like, aha, eureka. Very satisfying. So, Ben Wolf, are you sponsored by Vevor now? You got a kiln, you got a wheel. I have their milkshake mixer right over there that I use for mixing up small batches of glaze, which feels like all I do now. 300 and 500 gram batches. Adirondack, have you tested it? Was that actually what it is? What's the next step in terms of getting your wheel going? Also, if you end up calling it quits on that wheel, you might check out Ben Wolf's review of the Vevor pottery wheel. I think it's like right around 130 bucks. And I think he said it was pretty darn good. I saw, of course, Ben Wolf could throw on a car tipped on its side, put in second gear. You know what I mean? Like, guy's got it sort of figured out. No paid promotion, not yet. I mean, Ben, you're a trusted authority in the pottery world, and shoot, I'd trust your reviews. If I needed a wheel, you said that was a good one, I'd buy it. I mean, their motto is like quality tools for half the price. I think that's what their motto is. Adirondack said, yes, it's been so long since I've been on electric. I have to go to the hardware store tomorrow to see if I can find the same washer. If not, I'll have to have a speedball tech. The passerby said, Ben knows better than to speak unkindly of his buddies at the CCP. Well, I mean, you just said it. I had no idea. See, passerby knows things. He knows things about this world beneath the veil. Yeah. Yes, the PTO pottery wheel, right behind the John Deere. I could see Guy Wolf doing that. I feel like Guy Wolf is somebody he was like born into the a newer generation, but he's like an old soul. Like he'd be like an Isaac Button type of guy. I love it. Seeing him reach into the pug mill while it's running, my man. That's just do this for 30 years, you'll do it too. Kind of a moment. Adirondack said, if I can't get this one going, I plan to get some kind of electric before winter so I can throw in the house. Heck yeah. That's always the trick with the electric wheel. It's like, what's the budget? Because if you got a good budget, you can get a really good wheel that'll last forever. And nowadays, with some of the options like the Vevor wheel, they last pretty good, pretty long time. I think one of the big reasons why I purchased this wheel is because it is so quiet. It's a electromagnet. It doesn't have a motor. So you can hear it kind of humming sometimes, but it's pretty quiet. Ben said, he's Isaac Button that watches Hallmark movies. Yes, yes. Well, the reason I say Isaac Button is because Isaac lost one of his fingers in a pug mill accident. But also because Isaac Button was like, I don't know, he was doing all those things that it seems like I'm too much of a weak sissy to do, you know? Like he was digging clay out of the ground a ton at a time. He would sit down and throw for like 10 or 12 hours and go through like 1,500 pounds of clay. Like seriously, it's hard to even comprehend. Yeah, legendary potters. Hey Ben, how many pots, like when you're busy, how many pots are you throwing down like in a month? Or maybe a better estimate would be like approximately how many pots are you making a year? I always had because I'm so new to this, but I had a general understanding that a lot of pots for a single person would be in the neighborhood of 2,000 a year. But I honestly don't know. Yes, Country Potter. It's like my Rocky Four. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those movies that I'll watch anytime because every single scene blows my freaking mind. Just like for example, the concept where he has this big clay drying field. You know, where he dries or he bludgeons the clay into a slurry and he pours it into this trough. It's huge. And then he was so smart to make the exhaust from his kiln go under that and dry the clay out. It just blows my mind. Hey Joel, do you think you're going to go on with kind of the commercial glazes for a bit? Or you going to start asking Ben Wolf for the secret recipes? Start batching glazes. The only reason I asked is I know you said that you felt like the commercial glazes were pretty expensive for what you got. Ben said, honestly, I don't know how many, basically 25 tons. 25 tons? Am I reading that right, Ben? 25 tons in a year? Could that be right? I mean, I believe Ben Wolf when he speaks. £1,000 a week. I had no idea. Is it coming in? Holy cow. £1,000 a week. Is that, that's amazing. That is so far out of the stratosphere of my comprehension. I can't imagine throwing that much clay. Yeah, 1,000 pounds a day. Did that once in his 30s? Oh my God. That's incredible. I watched a video of you recently, Ben. You and your dad went up to, gosh, I should have, I can't remember what it is, but it was, you were doing demos at a art school or a college or something, and showed up the night before, threw a bunch of pots, and then taught folks, and they were throwing pots the next day. And I was super impressed. I actually took some screenshots of the pots that you threw the night before, because to me, that was the moment I would have wanted to be present for, is to see you and your dad throwing pots like that side by side. It's cool. Well, I totally get that. They gotta be quick. But that doesn't diminish the incredible achievement that I just am like stupefied on. I can't even wrap my head around that. Like, I went to the clay out supplier and bought like 1,000 pounds, and I was like, okay, that'll last me like 6 months. That would last you 1 week. My man. You got folks helping you, Ben, or are you also shipping that and delivering those pots to your wholesalers and retailers? Finished the design. It turned out amazing. Can't wait to see it. Thank you, Vanished. £1,000 pounds a week. That is bad to the bone. One. Two. 2 pounds. Mwah. Ben Wolf throws more clay in a week than most people throw in their lives. Legend. Ben said, just my wife and I. If it was just wheel time, maybe I could do the Isaac Button thing. He had someone wedging and picking up the pots. Yeah, he was just sitting there smoking a pipe when that was a normal thing to do. Wear a suit jacket to your wheel to spark up your pipe and throw a ton of clay. Shit. That is cool. What is going on? It's a mob one. I can't get it out of my head. It's so amazing. Yes. Yeah, just the pipe and your suit. That's it. And you're throwing standing up. We were talking about this yesterday. That was one thing that Jess recommended that I do, is switch to standing. You, Ben Wolf, and Jess at Swan City, and Steve Jepson. He was another person I knew who throws standing up. I'll be honest, I don't even have a suit. I think I might have one up in Washington. Vanish said, I'm planning on planting an apple tree. Right on. Do you already have the tree, or are you taking recommendations for what type of apple? Adirondack said, I prefer standing up with an electric wheel. Obviously, that's not an option with my kick wheel. Thank you for that. I actually have never tried it, but I'm open to it, especially if, gives an advantage or maybe more ergonomical. Yeah, his suit was probably tweed, thick, like a man, with secret compartments for his tobacco. And a special lined pocket for his pipe. God, we're all a bunch of sissies now. Go out into the woods, dig a hole, get your clay, carry it back to your studio. No, I want mine wrapped in plastic bags. Build your own kiln. Fired with the power of a mule. Vanish said, I'm just going to grab seeds straight from the apple. Yes. YouTube some videos on how to propagate apple seeds. I bet you have to soak them in paper towels for a couple of weeks. Adirondack said, feels more comfortable, but I also like being easily mobile. Oh yeah. That's a tip that I had not considered. Being able to, not have to get up. You just walk away. Quite useful. Adirondack said, be a real potter. then dig a hole and fire that pot. Yeah, you don't need no fancy equipment. Dig a hole, scoop the clay out, make it into something, put fire in there. Pot done. That sounds like who am I trying to think of? The name just escaped me. Oh, Michael Cardew. Michael Cardew went to Africa and set up a pottery down there. It's incredible. It's exactly what you're describing, though, Adirondack. First thing he had to do was dig the clay to make the bricks to create a low fire kiln so that he could then fire and dig more bricks to fire for the high fire kiln. Years of work before you even start throwing pots. For the men back in those days, probably just weeks of work. Lavender scented clay, anyone? Yes, yes, passerby knows. I prefer my clay to, it is exfoliating already, so adding some lavender and some conditioning creams. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, Ben said it. Country potter. It is inspiring. The other one, probably everybody here already knows this, but there is a movie about Bernard Leach at the St. Ives Pottery. And somebody put together like a short, like a 30 or a 3-minute, or maybe it's even shorter, clip of him talking about how a pot is a living thing. And he says it's like its associations are markedly human. How we talk about like the foot, the shoulder, the neck, and the lip. And he says, would you intuitively feel a good pot's honesty, strength, nobility, warmth, or charm, much as we do with people. And that, for me, along with the first chapter of his book, which is called Towards a Standard, was like the reason I became a potter. It just was so poetically, it so poetically explained this craft, which is such a simple craft, but holy cow, you all know it. It draws you in. It's mesmerizing. Even when you throw 1,000 pounds a week. I shouted so loud it made the light change on my camera. 1,000 pounds a week. Yeah. Ben said, 2 people in my county were trained by Michael Cardew. Some amazing stories from them both. Person number 1 I know is Simon Leach. What is this light doing? Can I just unplug it? Michael Cardew. I'm sorry, Simon Leach. I've watched a ton of his videos. He actually really helped me out when I switched over to raw firing, no bisque. That was, watching his videos was extremely helpful. But he's got a great book that I have, very useful. It does sort of feel like there's this, I don't know, with every generation, it seems like something new has come out or been rediscovered, essentially, you know. And Simon Leach, and your dad, Ben, you know, these were guys who learned the pottery ways of their forefathers. It feels like now there's a lot of like new discovery, glaze chemistry, and the internet certainly helps. But the biggest thing, to be honest, is worldwide shipping. You know what I mean? Like, my freaking feldspar comes from India. That did not happen in Michael Cardew's day, unless he was in India. Because Ben, you're low fire, right? So are you? But you're not using vitrified glazes, right? So are you using any Fritz to get down there? Anything with boron in it, or are they just not just, but are they slips and stains? That's one of the biggest expenses that I have is boron. Just getting to cone 5. Ben, also, who's the other person trained by Michael Cardew? Was it your dad? I mean, he's been around. For cone 10 firings, but the flower pots are way lower firings. I've heard you can put boron in cone 10. Get a high enough clay content, you need it. Todd Piper and Jane Harold. Todd Piper and Jane Harold. I'll look those up. I do a screenshot. It shows you how big the world is. Study a lot of potters. Never heard of those people. I'm sure they're epic, amazing potters that I'll be thrilled to get to know. Thank you for that, Ben. Todd Piker. Todd Piker. Hey Ben, have you ever submitted to the, I'm just gonna look, I got it on a tab right here, I think. But have you ever submitted to, oops, got it. It's called the Strictly Functional National Pottery. Strictly Functional National Pottery. It is it's been going on for like 33 years, I guess. It's like a juried show and sale for functional pottery. I just don't know much about it. Some potters that I follow have submitted into it. I think the entry fee is $40. My pots are so kind of like, actually I just got a pot in a pot exchange from this guy, Chris, at the Clay Co-op in Richmond, Maryland. I'm saying the wrong place, but it is in Maryland. And anyway, I was kind of comparing his pot to my pot, which I really like it. But in thinking about my own work, it's like my pots are like the everyday pots. You know what I mean? Like they can roll around in your trunk for 2 years and they'll probably be fine. And his is very delicate and I love it. But it's like you're going to sip your Sunday espresso cautiously, carefully, savor every moment kind of a pot. So I just don't know that my pots would do really well at like a show where people are judging the artistic quality of it, because they're nice. You can put them in the dishwasher in the microwave, but they're for marrying, not for dating. Plus, they could come in handy if you were in a fight. You know, got a substantial handle. Hanun, you can do it. If a dummy like me can do it, oh, trust me, you can do it. Just like Ben says, you just have to throw 1,000 pounds a week. Then you'll get real good real fast. I call that a perspective moment. When you realize your perspective. I thought I worked hard. I don't. Hanun, what you got to do is go to Ben Wolf's YouTube page. He's got a video on there, and it's about a pottery wheel. And the pottery wheel is really inexpensive. It's $130. And he tells you how to use it. And it's a pretty good wheel. So you could learn about that wheel. Ben Wolf is a respected potter. You could buy that wheel. You could start posting videos just like Fresh Cup of Joel. You could buy the Vevor wheel, recommended by Ben Wolf. Throw your first pot. And then when you're ready, he's also got a video on the kiln you could buy. He's taken all the hard work, done it already. Ben Wolf said, I've never been one that likes to be judged. Never looked at pottery like a sport, as I'm who's better or worse. it's all in the eye of the beholder, like music. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I completely agree with that aversion to being judged. I wouldn't like it either. And if I'm completely honest with you, Ben, the reason I would do it is because I'm a nobody, you know. And if somebody at that show saw my work, and if one person went to my website, that would be probably one more, you know, because it's pretty slim right now. It's like 27 people might click on the website a week, and I have no sales. So I think for me, it's just about like getting out there whatever way I can. Actually, on May 29th, I'm going to be on a radio show from Santa Cruz called The Noon Balloon. The Noon Balloon I think it's from 12 to 1. Trying to get my message out there. Hey, the good's pottery. Good's for you, good for others. Actually, that's not true. I'm working on our first donation. I really tried to get it to go through, but there's something wrong with their website. But it's called it's a cat rescue. I'm a fool. Said hi. Ahoy hoy. I'm super glad you're here. Because if you weren't here, I'd just be sitting alone in my garage, turning these foot rims. Ben Wolf said, "You are a great potter, man." Thank you, dude. Well, that's a good question, Ben. I've done two sales so far, but what they are, I'm not sure if they count because they are second sales. So it's about 7-hour drive from our house. Not that that's significant, but the premise is that you take the pots, and so you're marking them down to like $5 and $10, and it's worked out really well for me because I happen to have a lot of seconds right now, or I had. So I've done 2 of those, but tomorrow's sale will be the first time that I try to go full price. But I'll let you know, in the second sale I did really well. The first time I think I made $1,000. That was in May, and then no, this is May. It was in October. In October I made $1,000, and then the one that we just did, I thought I did pretty good. I made $2,000, so that was great. A nice injection of cash, so I can get more materials. But that's $2,000 from 450 pots, or about 500 pots. So I would like to narrow my margins a bit. Thank you, Ben. Yeah, I'm hopeful. It's a midweek sale, so it's really just kind of about getting my foot in the door, and with the hopeful goal of getting into like a Saturday or a Sunday sale. But we'll see how it goes. Got about 300 pots sitting there I could sell. Oops. And I'll be looking forward, Ben, to your stream tomorrow. in your tweed suit. Do you have a pipe ready to go? Or do you got to run out and make one? Corn cob. No, I've got the tobacco. Nice. My man. He's prepared. That would be super funny. A modern country potter. It'd be sweet if there was some way to like have that rolling in the background. Mm-hmm. Darn thing's crooked. That's good enough. This one. Whoa. I do not know why that fixes it. Sometimes they like float off the bowl. You blow into them, they stick back on there. Does not make any sense to me why that would work. That's it. But do not have a tweed suit, nor do I think I will ever. That actually is quite a relief. This is my good tweed suit. Can't be using it on the pottery wheel. It's got all my pocket protectors in there. I saw Jess this morning, she was thrown outside. When I was a teacher, I always, on one of the first sunny days in May, I would set out some pottery wheels from the classroom outside. And it was a huge hit. The kids loved it. So it was a special place in my mind. Going outside. A little thin there. Hey, Ben, thank you for being here, man. It was really nice chatting with you. And thanks for sharing about your quantity and volumes, and that's an inspiration to me, brother. We'll talk soon, I hope. Dang it. It's giving me troubles. Made it worse. I think I could take a little more off of there. Okay. Gotta go get the other bat. And I trimmed up this many. Just gotta trim up this many more. These are cups, so I like cups. No handle. Plus, these cups are nice. They got a waist. Makes it easier to hold. Ari, hello. Just discovered your channel. Super relaxing stream so far. Ari, thank you for saying that. Pottery is meditative, isn't it? Ari, are you a potter? Do you do any work on the wheel? Any kind of craft? Oh. Oh, nuts. Never have, but I keep getting videos about it on my page. It's the YouTube gods trying to sway you. Pottery is calling. Is there a studio close to where you live that you could go check it out? It is worth it. It's super fun. There's something about drinking out of a cup you made yourself that I would want for you to experience. It's just like, I know it seems cliche to say it, but I think the experience, like the food, tastes better when you drink from a cup you made yourself. It's like there's this story to be told. And, oh man, it's awesome. Ari said, not that I'm aware of, anyway. Maybe I'll find one soon, though. Oh, I hope you do. Leah's back. Said, sorry, had to make spaghetti for the fam. Spaghetti. God, I love spaghetti. It's so good. It's got to have meatballs for me, though. Or you just like them? Thanks, and thank you for the apron. I tried to figure out how to flip the stream to mirror it. I could not figure that out. He said, I would have learned to make meatballs. I always add meat, but only to me and Ryan's because the kids don't like it. Yeah, like ground beef. That would be good enough for me, too. Yeah, it's a great apron. I haven't washed it yet. Because I'm a pig and I never wash things. But I do shower once a week, whether I need it or not. Just kidding. One holdout mug here. It's supposed to be fine to wash. If it messes up, I'll send you another one. Oh, you're so nice. I usually just throw it in the sink and give it a rinse on the other one, so I'll try that. I'm sure it'll be fine. There's a demarcation zone in the garage where the clay must end before going into my wife's lovely home. Leah, do you got streams planned? Or is it mostly kind of like when the mood strikes? Bit more. I wish I had more like self-discipline to plan it out, but it for me is just like, hey, I could probably stream. Sorry. Too aggressive there on the... Nuts. Good enough. Stubborn one. Let's try it again. Oh, I missed part of it. Well, he said it's supposed to be easy to clean, to wipe clean. I had never worked with that material, hence the imperfections. I think mine's perfect. We chose it because it was that nylon type of easy clean fabric. I think that's the right choice. Easy to clean, very important. Know your audience, right? Dealing with all of us dirty potters. Not Harry Potters. That's a movie. Dirty Potters. Different apron entirely. This mug must have just been kind of a struggle for me. There's all kinds of things about it that are wrong. Ari said, if you aren't streaming, do you usually listen to music or TV while you work? Just curious. Yes. Great question. And the answer is yes. I usually listen to music. There is a TV up there that I watch too. But mostly music. I wish we could listen to music while we stream. That would be great. If I do the horizontal feed, then I can put music on, but it's pretty limited into what you can, not get a strike on. Mirror! What do I listen to, Ari? Gosh, this week I've been listening to a lot of Falling in Reverse. Kind of like matched my mood of just wanting to burn it down, just, I don't know, sometimes it's just like that. But today I'd probably listen to something a little bit more relaxed. I'm doing good, brother. Yeah, things are looking up. I was in a bit of a funk. And can't explain why, but feeling better. Happy to be on the wheel throwing pots. I've got my first market tomorrow, like full price market. I've done a couple of like second sale discount markets, but this is my first, just kind of set up the booth and see what happens on my own. And it's midweek, but down here you kind of, from what I've understood, you got to pay your dues to get onto the Saturday and Sunday markets. And how about yourself, brother? How is everything? Can you tell me a little bit about the adventure of mixing your own glazes and where you are in that process? It's pretty exciting to me. These might be too wet to trim. Gonna try anyway though. Oh, I must have misunderstood the stream the other night then. I thought that's what I was seeing you do, is mix up glaze, but perhaps it was just that you were glazing. And those were the buckets in which your glaze is kept. That makes more sense. You got a whole bunch of different glazes though, right? If I remember right, you've got linen and another white. You got a whole bunch of them. A couple different blues, if I remember right. That's a good amount of glaze. I think right now I got a blue, a green, a white, and then I'm still working on kind of a coppery black. Nice to have so much variety though, man. That's cool. Are you back in the saddle throwing pots? I know there was a bit of a break there. Ari said, might be an obvious answer, but what is the green cup there for? To make sure the cups are the same size? It's a good question, actually. The bowl that's it's sitting on kind of holds it because this tool that I'm using, you kind of slide it and these arms go in and out. And then what happens is those arms will squish the cups. And so they'll come out of round. And so I guess it's just me trying to not get them to get squished. But I love that question, Ari. It's a really good question. Mir said, yes, I have been throwing pretty regularly. Nice. And Mir, you're also going to markets. Can you give me any advice or tips on maybe something that I wouldn't think to bring? It's going to be pretty hot tomorrow here, like 95. And the sale goes from 9 to 1. Aside from, my tent and chair, I wasn't quite sure. Ari said, for you and Mir here, what are you guys' favorite thing to make on the wheel? My favorite thing to make. I think for me, probably my favorite thing right now is like we have this pitcher. Well, like I don't know, it's about this tall. It's about this tall. Not the big, it's like a three pound pitcher. We put a handle on it and then it has a spout. I think those are probably my favorite right now. Also just came out with a little mini colander, like that. And I'm enjoying those because I get to use a drill to drill the holes. These holes are a little small, but so it might be a toss-up between those two. Mir said, take a cooler with ice and maybe sandwiches. That is a great tip. I would have not thought to bring food. Ice and sandwiches. Some cold drinks. Thank you for that tip, Mir. Mir said, I like making baking dishes and bowls. That is very cool. Mir, do you use a special clay for the baking dishes or do you go with your standard stoneware? Baking dishes, a cool idea. And Ari, another good question. Thank you for those. That's fantastic. Got a future as a radio broadcaster. Oops. Hey, you. Quit doing that. Stay straight. There you go. Close enough anyway. Good bit of grog. Yeah. Ari said, very cool. Jills, you guys get to make your own kitchen utensils. It is super nice. I'll make yours too, though. I got a whole bunch. Hey, Mira, I did a mug exchange. Actually, I've done a couple of them. One I did sort of by accident with Swan City. But I met this guy named Chris from the Clay Co-op in Rockville, Maryland. And he had posted something about mugs and appreciating other people's handmade work. And so I sent him one of mine, and he sent me this one today. And it's slab built, as you can see. It's got a pretty nice texture inside, and a texture on the outside too. It is super light and delicate. And probably one of my favorite parts is right here. He's got a little tag that he puts his name on there. And at first when I was looking, I was like, man, this is too delicate. But I drank out of it several times today, and it's got a good heft, a good feel. Super nice. Ari said, unfortunately, no. I've looked into it, but there aren't in many studios near me. Wish I could, though. Ari said, you're short about that mug is what brought me here. Oh, how nice. Yeah, Chris, the guy who sent it to me, he is a teacher. So his content is about how to throw on the wheel. And I am a retired teacher. I did high school pottery for 20 years. And I kind of got enough teaching in for a few lifetimes. So I don't do much teaching now. But if somebody, you know, a friend or somebody wants to come over and learn, then I will. Oh, Mira, you'd be a great teacher, man. You've got a patient, kind, outlook, and you're talented on the wheel. That's all it takes. I mean, as I think you probably know as well as I do, it's the knowledge is the easy part. It's the 10,000 pots that becomes the challenge. And for me, because when I got my job, I was in my 20s and I didn't know to ask for help. So really being a teacher for me was running a studio on my own. And as you can imagine, firing for 150 students and mixing all their clay and mixing all the glazes is just, it's too much. It's too much. But if you could have help, it would be a lot more doable. Vanish is back. Ahoy hoy. Welcome back, Vanished. Ari said, I'm hoping to teach as well, except in biology or chemistry rather than the arts. Well, Ari, we may have something in common there, because once I stopped teaching, I didn't know anything about chemistry, and in glaze there is a ton of chemistry, molecular chemistry. And so for the past year I've been learning about the periodic table and using the first two columns, the alkali metals and the alkaline earths are the fluxes that we use in our glaze. And then all the transition metals are the colorants. Actually, I just got a bag of bismuth trioxide over there I'm going to experiment with. Not a transition metal, but another ingredient we can use in our glaze. Ari, are you in school for chemistry and biology? Or is that an interest of yours? Mir likes chemistry. Oh, brother. Then you would have a ball mixing your own glazes. It's super fun. Ari said, oh yeah, ceramics have super interesting chemistry as well, especially as to why they're so good at holding heat. Ari said, then finishing up my biochem bachelor's degree here soon. Right on. Biochem bachelor's degree. Ari, way to go. Vanish said, I like science, but I don't have chemistry class yet. Oh man, high school chemistry is, maybe Ari can speak to that, a real challenge. Too much talk about valences, not enough talk about blowing shit up. Ari said, never knew that about glazes. Maybe pottery really is calling me then. Oh yes. There's ceramicists now who don't throw on the wheel. One of the people who taught me about molecular chemistry is a ceramicist, and all he does is glaze chemistry. That's it. He teaches it, he talks about it, he tests chemistry all day long. Mir said, it's calling you, Ari. Sure is. Ari said, chemistry is tough, but when you get it, it's awesome. And Vanish said, I think I'll like it. You're a smart kid, Vanish. I guarantee you'll like it. There's just a lot of memorization early on. For some people, not a big deal. For me, I had to do the 4th grade 2 times in order to get my multiplication tables down. So I did not take chemistry in high school, which I sort of regret. And Ari said, for the sake of science, I hope you do. Yeah. Me too. Yeah, I think about science. I think about the periodic table almost every day. For Christmas, my wife got a periodic table printed on a canvas, and it's hanging in my room. I said my room just there, but I meant my office, which is my room. Ari said, I actually did not like biology at all in high school, but now I'm doing research and hoping to teach undergraduate level biology or chem. That is so cool. And Mir said, I loved chemistry, was never good at math. Yeah, I feel you there, Mir. And Ari agreed, math is super tough. And Vanish said, I'm amazing at math. Doesn't surprise me, Vanish. Seemed like one of these just super capable humans. Also very athletic. All this is going to have to go on your dating profile. Super athletic, good at math, likes long walks on the beach, artistic, very sociable. No science without math, no doubt. Although I do wish sometimes that instead of writing out the mathematical number, that they would just write out the word for it. You know what I mean? Like, if you get, of course, maybe some of the mathematical numbers are too big, but instead of writing the number 1 trillion, it seems like just easier to write the word 1 trillion. Mir said, that's why I became a mechanical engineer. Look, it vanished. Get out there. Be the best. It's very charming. I like it a lot. Looks to me like you got the perfect setup at your house, Mir. That basement studio is, I'm envious. Super nice. Oh yes, I was just going to ask if it was field day. Because when you said jump and then run, I was like, wait a minute. This sounds like an end of year field day. Are you almost out of school then, Vanish? And also, congratulations being #1 in the tug of war. Probably the most fun event. Well, I don't know. What is the most fun event at the field day? Egg toss. That for me was the most fun. We have a partner and you throw the egg from a line. And everybody who makes it without dropping the egg has a steps back. Throw again. Further. And the winner is the person who throws it the furthest without breaking it. Vanish said, the teacher had us do tryouts for it, but I don't know what speed and jumping has to do with tug of war, whatever. Maybe there's other events that you might need those skills. Hasn't happened yet, but I'm pretty confident. Cool. Do you know when the field day is going to be? Maybe there'll be a potato sack race where you got to get inside of a burlap bag and jump your way across the field. That's jumping in a common field day event. Then there's the three-legged race where you tie one of your legs together with a partner, and then ready, set, go, get there as fast as you can. Oh, yeah, a bit of rain. Well, nice that they are at least aware of it, and so you don't miss out. Pick the right day. I love it. I loved field day. Probably the best day of the year. Partially because you knew school was almost over. Partially because you were at school doing all kinds of athletic and fun things. The best. Oh, Mir, man, thank you for popping by. It means a lot. I really appreciate it. Have a good night. Vander said I was the fastest in last year's 100-yard dash. I even fell, but still won after falling. Holy cow. Hanun! How long does it take me to make pottery? I don't know. If you got a timer? Can you time me on this one? It is, I see, 1 hour, 57 minutes, and 59, 58, 0. Okay. So we're at 1 hour, 58 minutes. Let's see how long it takes me to trim this foot rim. Leah! Ooh, tell me about these storms. What's going on? We talking the big T? The big tornado? Or what do we got? Flooding? Y'all live in where the weather's real. Ari said, is the wheel always spinning or do you have a pedal or something? Yeah, I have a pedal down here. Some people use their hand to make it spin, but I just use my foot. But that's a great question, Ari. Just passed through there a few days ago. Gosh, that'd be scary. It's not the wind, it's the stuff flying around in the wind. And you just don't know if your neighbor's trampoline is going to come through your front window. Lee said, yes, indeed. There was a tornado. Emergency to my southwest. Scary. Storm chaser so close. Oh, storm chasers. Holy cow. East Tennessee here. That's Leah. Ari said the college dorms are just about the worst spot to have a tornado. We have to hunker down in the first floor bathroom. Oh man, that is so lame. You'd think they would build them with a little more, security in mind. Which is barely any safer than a bedroom, yeah. I am an aeronautical engineer, so I don't have time to learn it. But it is so nice to watch you do it in the most interesting live I've ever seen. Oh my goodness, thank you for saying that. Aeronautical engineer. That is amazing. Must be fascinating work. Building airplanes. Well, there's lots of things you could build. In the aeronauts. Sure does. Sounds super cool. Guaranteed work. If you can't work for Lockheed Martin, you can go work for Boeing. And it's a guaranteed job. That's awesome. Go work for Tesla. I mean, Tesla. Go work for SpaceX. Ah, great timing. Vanished. Thank you. I should have known an athlete such as yourself would have a stopwatch on the ready. What did I drop? Oh, here it is. Oh, had it on your phone. That's one thing I love about our phones is they've got so many handy tools right there in your pocket. Oops. Gosh. It's not what I intended to do. Let's see if I can fix it. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, good question, Ari. This is like a little fidget spinner. So it has two parts, kind of spin round. I've seen people do it with the bottle cap. That's probably a better system, cheaper for sure. But yeah, this just allows me to put downward pressure so that it mostly stays from sliding around. And then it just holds on to the cup or the bowl a little bit better. A little bit better. Not much. Benj said it looks like a little weight. She does. Benj has got a workout bike in his room. Sweet. You could watch it live and crush some miles on the bike. Get in shape. Hang out with your friends. It's perfect. Nice. I'm on the bike as we speak. Go, Vanished. How fast are you riding? Does it have a speedo on there? Does it tell you how fast you're going? Hanun said, have you ever visited Petra? I am sad to say I don't know where Petra is. Can you tell me where Petra is? It's okay, Vanished. Oh, it's in Jordan. No, I unfortunately have not. Is that where you are, Hanun, in Jordan? In Petra? And is it more of like a city where you are, or are you in like the suburbs where all the houses are? Vanished. I know that about you, man. High jumper, fast runner, bike rider. Get pumped. I'm a big fan, Vanished. Big fan. Hanun said, yeah, I'm Jordanian. Petra is on one of the 7 wonders of the world. Oh gosh, I should know this. Can you tell me about the wonder of the world on which Petra is sitting? Is it the gardens? No, it's not the gardens. Maybe it is the gardens. Oh, I should know this. The Pink City. I bet you this will be on our trip list. My wife and I, really like to travel. Going to Portugal in September. Have not made it to Jordan, but we are interested and curious folk, so I would love to come. Thank you for telling me about that, Hanun. yes. I guarantee we would enjoy checking it out. Can you tell me? So you live in Petra. Can you tell me one place where you would recommend I go? I'm pretty old, I'm 47 years old, so we don't we don't go out late or go to the clubs or anything. So mostly, tourist sites that we'd want to visit. Gosh darn it. Stick on there, you rascal. Hanun said you can also visit Wadi Rum. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. It's a magical place. You'll love it. Wadi Rum. Thank you. Is it really 5? 5:30? Holy cow. 2 to go. Benj said, how do you paint them? Well, I use some glaze that I make here. I have green and blue and white right now. And Hanoun said, I saw that you made a tag on a mug. How do you do it? It's amazing. A tag. Oh, like this one? Is that what you meant? That's a really good question, Hanoun. Actually, this mug was made by a new friend of mine who works at a place called the Clay Co-op, who's in a different state than me. He's in Maryland, and we traded. So that mug is super cool, and I really like it. The mugs that I make are more like this. More drippy. You can kind of see the foot rim style that I'm trimming right now on these here. And then later I'll put a handle on. Not on these cups, but on the mugs. Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah, I feel super fortunate to have connected with Chris at the Clay Co-op. And I sent him one of my mugs, and he sent me this one today. And it's really cool. It's like a different flavor of experience when you have a chance to drink out of somebody else's mug. Yeah, I wish you were close enough, Hanoun. I could send you some pottery, but at this time I don't ship out of the United States. My business is brand new. But if I'm ever in Jordan, I'll bring some pottery with me. We can meet up and I'll give it to you. It's actually a little common, I don't know what you would call it, but a little common thing that a lot of potters do is they bring their pots with them on vacation with the intention of using them, but then also leaving them in a space or finding them someone to gift to, and just kind of spread some cheer. Oh, my pleasure. Yeah, I sit here and make pots all day long. I really enjoy it, and I think using handmade pots is a worthwhile thing. Okay, I'm on my last one. So, I usually like to say my thank yous when I'm on my last one. So I'll start with you, Hanoun. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the tips about traveling to Jordan, about Petra, about the Pink City. Can't wait to go there. Honestly, yeah, I have really enjoyed traveling to some kind of, places like we really enjoyed traveling to Vietnam last year, and Tokyo. Looking forward to going to Portugal and Spain, and I hope to go to Jordan. Thank you to Vanished. When I get off of this stream, I'm looking forward to seeing your new designs for my pottery with the waterfall. Super impressed, Vanish, that you are a person who can do those designs on your phone. It's amazing to me. With your finger, no stylist. And if I don't see you before you have a field day, Vanish, I wish you good luck. Ari, good luck in your upcoming tests. I'm sure you have them. And I hope to see you on here again soon so you can keep us updated on the world of chemistry and biology. And if the pottery gods continue to guide your journey, you may end up on here streaming your own pottery experience. Gosh, thank you, Hanoun, for saying that. It's very kind of you. I really enjoy the streaming process because so much of what we do is just alone in the garage or alone in the basement. And so to have folks to chat with makes the time go by much faster and keeps the mindset in the right place of gratitude and joyfulness. And a big thank you to Leah, our channel moderator, the person who looks after us and keeps everybody on their best behavior. I think I met Leah on my very first stream here after kind of getting to know her on Swan City's stream. And she's just the kind of person, the kind of mama bear that, you know, everybody needs in their life. So I'm really grateful for Leah. Thank you so much, Leah, for being here. And for giving me this beautiful apron. This one, brought to you by Leah. Custom-made aprons. Sent to your door. $299.99 plus tax. I'm just kidding, but she'd send them to you for $200. Yeah, Ari, note-taking session right on. Yeah, thank you. I hope to get a chance to talk to you more. I try not to overwhelm people with questions, but I have a bunch of questions about the work that you do and you know, about chemistry and about biology. So I hope we can talk again soon. I knew that, Leah. But I thought, hey, you know, what's the price that would that I could speak for Leah? You know, you don't want to volunteer somebody, but I thought, shoot, for $200, I'll make the apron. Right on. Well, that's it. While you were sitting there, I trimmed this many cups. And probably Vanished, rode 27 miles. Oh, great. Well, when I see you again, I will start asking away. Well, okay, then I'm going to go eat dinner and pack my truck for the sale tomorrow. Hopefully things sell. I had to borrow $32 in cash from Wendy because if I don't sell anything, I still have to pay. So if I owe Wendy $32 tomorrow, then, well, I'll just have to start making something else. Okay, cheers, everybody. And thank you again so much for being here. I'm really grateful. See you soon. Thank you, Leah. Bye. Yeah, yes, thank you, Ari. Sandwiches and drinks. I'll go pack the cooler now. That's great advice. I don't want to forget. Oh, and Vanish, thank you. I'll look forward to that email. Send the new design. I kind of thought maybe you had already sent it, but that doesn't mean you need to hurry or anything. I'm grateful for whatever you send me. So thank you. All right, cheers.